and we had talked a little bit off camera too before we really jumped in here, kind of about, your passion in doing these loans. And one thing I found to be very, very interesting is more of like the counseling and educational piece, because like you kind of mentioned, it's important to bring some of those things to the forefront. And so speak a little bit to that and how you truly try to counsel people, because I think that's probably the most interesting part of being a loan officer, that either some folks are going to pour really far into, or they'll do kind of as you said, and they'll hide things and they'll try to just get by.
Right. In all positions, there's different personalities, and in the loan officer position, there's kind of two camps, right? There's like, let's just let them borrow as much as they possibly can because we get paid more if they borrow more, right? Or realtors the same way. Here's how much house you can buy. Don't you want this house? Well, just because you can doesn't mean it's a great idea, right? The mindset that's gotten a lot of people in trouble, and I've known a lot of people, including myself, that have gotten personally in financial trouble, is because we thought we deserved something because we could get it. Right. And that's kind of the mentality that's gotten a lot of people in trouble, as opposed to planning for times up ahead, make sure we live beyond, within our means and all that stuff. So I had about 10 years ago, started teaching Dave Ramsey's course on financial stewardship, and just saw how it changed my life, how it changed other people's lives who I saw that were applying these principles, living within our means, living conservatively, saving up, being prepared for emergencies.
Right.
Just the peace. I mean, it's called financial peace for a reason, that you have. You just don't have those daily stresses about finances that most people have because you proactively plan for stuff, right? And so buying a house is going to be the biggest investment most people make.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So you do not want to set people up for failure. Now, unfortunately, they will let you buy more house than you should buy. Right. And that's not a good thing. So I look holistically at each client's financials from A to Z and take the whole thing in as a picture and say, this is what you should be doing. Now, this is what you can do. I always show them what you can do. Right. And I show them why it's a bad idea to do that. And here's what you should do. Now, sometimes the should do is you're not ready to buy a house. Right. And I'm okay having that conversation with them. I can sleep at night because I know them not helping somebody make a bad decision that I know very well could be a financial ruin for them in the next couple of years. Right?
Absolutely. Oh, I mean, that's one thing that I find to be very, very fascinating is, I feel like here at Churchill, most of the loan officers I've talked to, they advise just a little bit differently. And it really takes into account, how the people we work with are living their lives and whatnot. And so I'd like to spin back a little bit to the financial piece and kind of teaching Dave Ramsey. How long have you been doing that?
About 10 years.
Wow.
I've been doing that 10 years. I do one in the fall and one in the spring. And me and my wife together will do a table of couples. So kind of, we share our story and how we got to where we are, and we help teach the course to about 8 couples that are at our table.
Well, and one thing is too that, I kind of wanted to, I guess, hear more about is that conversation, because a lot of the times we do have to focus on that conversation of maybe not now, right? And that's always a really, really hard conversation to have, especially when you tell someone they aren't qualified.
Right.
And so, how do you kind of lean into that? And, how do you make them realize, because I think that's really tough for some home buyers, is hearing, yes, we can qualify for this, but we should be weighing this a little bit heavier in our budget and how this affects our lives. So kind of how do you attack that, and how do you, I guess, make sense of it to a borrower or to someone we're working with?
Yeah, no, that's a great question. Look, you can buy this house, right? I've had people who move forward even after I told them this is probably not the best time for you to buy a house. A lot of those will be, I've seen people spend down to their last $100 they have to get into a house, which is, it's crazy to me that that's actually possible to do. Why would you give somebody a loan that has $100 left in the bank once they move into the house? That just doesn't seem right, but you can do it, right? I've had people do it. And of course, I'd rather me help them,
right,
and counsel them. And if I say, look, if you want to do it, I'll help you. I don't want you to go anywhere else. But I highly advise against it. What I advise you do is let's get some money set aside so you have a cushion. You're going to move into this house, and within the first couple of months, something's going to go wrong. And you're going to have to reach for a credit card and go further into debt. And it's just going to be a slippery slope that you don't want to go down.
Well, I'll tell you what, too. Yeah, buying a house and leaving yourself $100. I mean, you're barely replacing the air filters in the house for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's crazy.
You can't do that.
You're
and
not
so
going to be able to fill up the refrigerator.
Oh,
right?
No, absolutely
right.
not.
So I have that conversation with them and kind of just let them know that, hey, this is what you're getting yourself into. And I'm a big fan of, hey, let me just show you the math. Let me show you what your monthly budget looks like doing this, because we're qualifying people off pre-tax income. Well, that doesn't really matter to them. How much is hitting the bank? How much is going towards your mortgage? How much is estimated to be going to your utilities? And let's see what sliver you have left for vacations, going out to eat, saving for retirement. Sometimes it's close to zero. And I just show them those numbers. And, if they don't listen at that point, well, that's completely on them.